Hello, gods and goddesses. I wanted to come in today and talk about something that Spirit introduced me to today. Every morning I get up and I am one of those people that needs my mornings to be, together and peaceful and in a certain way to kind of ease me into the day. I'm not necessarily a morning person. So, this morning with my coffee and my meditation and my contemplation, I went over, all these feelings kept coming in and these thoughts kept popping into my head about what I'm going to explain to you. But first, my guides want me to explain some of my gifts to you guys. Maybe, I'm not sure why, but I have no filter on my gifts. So it's not hard for me to connect with someone else's energy, whether I know them, whether they are in the room with me or not, whether they are all the way across the world in a different country. I am able to pick up the blueprint of people's emotional being. So I spent many past lives being a therapist and connecting with people's energies on a very deep spiritual level, also as a mental, so that I have this innate ability to read people very easily. I can pick up on things in those people's lives, the lies that they tell themselves, all of the wounds that they have, and I can also pick up on their gifts and any of their strengths and stuff. So that has a lot to do with why I do what I do. It's what I'm good at, and that's what I want to share with people in a positive way. So with that being said, I have no filters. I have all of the clairs. They come up at different times with different clients and different friends and family. In my meditations, they come up in a certain way for me. So now that you kind of understand that my gifts have no bounds, I'm going to go into the story that happened. So I've had a lot of people come to me recently, reaching out to me for readings on friendships or just relationships that we are constantly losing. We are coming up against people who are no longer aligned with the beliefs and values that we have, or we've had friends for a long time that now just the beliefs and values are coming up and they're causing this misalignment and this weird energy. It's almost like people are really getting to know people, not the things that they do, actually what makes them tick, what makes them who they are, what makes them choose everything in their day and their life and who they want to be. So weirdly enough for myself, what Spirit usually does is takes me through an emotion so that I can really dig in and learn what they are telling me. So today it was something of comparison. So why do we compare each other so much? And why do we compare ourselves to others in order to reach some false dichotomy of what the soul should produce in this life? So we will be talking about that. And it made me this old friend, well, not friend anymore, but this old person in my life that was there the longest period of time I've ever had, more than family, more than any other friend or relationship. This person was in my life for a very long time. So it was a huge lesson for me. I can look back now and look at it from a completely different angle than when I was in the thick of it. But that person popped into my head, and what did I do? I went on social media and I started stalking them. And I started to feel the pain of, like, when I watched that person's videos on their Instagram, it was very weird hearing their voice again. It was very weird reading their energy because it's been so long since we had a falling out. And that person really I'm not saying this in a negative way, because this is about the lesson. This isn't about who that person is now or what they were or whatever. But there was a huge amount of talking about the things that that person had accomplished, the money that they had, the cars that they had. There was this huge amount of videos and pictures about, I'm not sure if that person feels they're gloating or not, but that was kind of the energy that I was getting of like, look at me. And that's kind of what Instagram does, is they highlight all of the happy moments in our life. And a lot of the happy moments for that person was all external. Although they did like to talk about how religious they were and how much faith they had. And it was a little bit obnoxious and pretentious, but what they had made me feel pain. I couldn't understand why I was feeling pain, because I don't want that type of lifestyle whatsoever in that aspect. I want one that's less showy, I guess you could say. And I felt jealous and I felt insecure, and I thought maybe I should reach out to that person. And immediately this old part of Serena came into the picture, and it said, maybe I should not reach out to them till I have a little bit more going on in my life. And I went, what did you just say to yourself? What in the world? So I know that they were taking me through an experience. So that's when I went into a meditation and pulled some tarot cards and things like that for better clarification. Now, when I was going through the feelings of comparison with all of those emotions, I was urged to ask myself, why am I feeling pain because of this image? Is really what it is. It doesn't really matter if that image aligns with me or not. What is it about this image that's causing me pain? What is beneath my pain? And what is the core issue? And I think the core issue had a lot to do with financial freedom, sharing things with others, and being not accepted, but allowing it to be. It's what I'm doing needs to be receptive to people. It needs to be making a change. Not that I want to be accepted, but it's that feeling of receptance. And that financial freedom, being able to share happy moments, and being receptive as a spiritual healer is really what I feel like is not as strong as I would like it to be. Being kind to yourself and letting you know that everyone starts from somewhere. Insecurity is the cause of not feeling strength in an expertise capacity or space. So I had to look at the fact that, okay, well, I'm trying to be drawn into the experience that the collective is feeling, because every single person that I've contacted has had this happening in their life on a large scale or a small scale. And look at that's what do I need to strengthen? What does that person have? Instead of looking at the things that I don't have, which is what I teach, is to look at the things that I do have. I have a very wonderful life. It may not be full of Range Rovers and big houses and tons of showy vacations and lots of like clothes and stuff like that. But for me, I'm taken care of and I'm happy. So what can I go off of and what can I do more of that will help me strengthen that muscle? And that's kind of what Source was wanting me to ask you guys, like how to bring you and pull you through this energy of comparison. And is it because you want financial freedom? Is it because you want to feel loved? Is it because you want belonging? Is it because you want connection? Is it because you want happiness? You have a wound or weakness that needs to be nurtured that will only heal if you do something about it. So by playing a victim and doing the woe is me, you are definitely not going to strengthen that muscle at all. You're not going to gain the confidence or the ambition and drive in order to complete these things required to become that person that you see in the future. So, which I wrote all of this down because there was so much in my meditation. External and physical things will never make you happy forever. I have clients that are millionaires. and they are still not fully happy. They still have relationship problems. They still have issues with people using them for money. It can be a very isolating place. Trust issues, not being able to trust everyone. And some of the clients don't know how to fully live like a civilian, I guess you could say, a regular, normal person with average amounts of money. They have no idea what those experiences are because everything comes a little bit easier when you have money. It doesn't fix everything because, believe me, some of these people have serious friendship issues and relationship issues. So they are just like us. They have the same problems. Money is not going to fix everything. They were telling me also these fantasies are a barricade between you and your soul mission. If you have no time to sit and contemplate your soul mission, then we are inevitably running from ourselves. So what are you using in order to block yourself? What is it that you are telling yourself that you need to have in order to be happy, to get to that image that you're creating? And look at the core issues. Why do I feel like I need to have more kids? Is that a barricade between the lack of being able to connect with my husband? Do I need more money to look better and feel more accepted by the community or my group or my pack? Do I need to act in a certain way in order to receive love? So I need to be like the rest of my family, and I need to speak like the rest of my family. I need to inevitably emulate exactly what they accept in order to receive love. These are things that you really need to ask yourself. Why am I going after the job that I'm going after? Am I going after the job because someone told me I was really good at this and so I just went with it? Am I wearing certain clothes because I got a compliment that I look fantastic in blue, so I need to bring more blue into my wardrobe? Do I get more attention off of like a certain style of makeup or a certain style of clothes? We inevitably take those things in because instinctively we are a species that goes off of love and acceptance and belonging. We know as a child that if we act in this way, we will receive food and we will receive love. Those are the two very most important things for human beings to live, and probably water. But anyways, so you need to look at what you adopted and what image you've created in order to get where you're at, because I promise you that image is not always going to make you happy. And if you're continuously feeling empty or like something's missing, it's probably time to let go of those old stories, those old image. Moving into the 5D, this image and this avatar that we've adopted and all of these abilities, skills, and talents and things, they need to be based off of you alone and you creating them. So when you create something and you accomplish something, or you come to an epiphany on your own, or you learn through experiencing it, feels so much better than someone telling you. And a lot of people don't listen when people are telling them the right thing to do or the more beneficial way to do something. They don't listen until we experience it. So the only way that you're going to find yourself is by showing up for yourself every single day and choosing you and choosing what you want to do and choosing, and after a while it'll become second nature and you won't have to really work on that anymore. But this constant comparison to other people has to go. This old story has to go. The idea of who you thought you were, the idea of what everyone else has molded you into, what your voice wants to be. It's going to be changing. All of it's going to be changing. So look at your life and ask yourself what I can add to my life that will release me from these chains. That's inevitably it. What chains are holding you back from being authentic? What chains are holding you back from creating that vulnerable space? When I was looking at that person's profile, the image that they portrayed was not the image that they were when we were friends. And this person ran away from that image or something, and now the image that that person portrays is one of purity. And I had to look at that. Okay, well, why does that agitate me so much? That has nothing to do with me. We're no longer in each other's life. That person does not directly impact the choices and the decisions that bring me happiness or sadness. So what is it that's irritating me? And it has to do with authenticity. It has nothing to do with the way that person lives their life. Why does the boasting bother me? Why does the fact that that person has a family and, you know, a big house, and I don't even know the name of the other cars, but just lots of flashy things. And I think it just has to do with that person is walking in their mission. Maybe that's their mission. Maybe your friends are meant to be those people and you want it because it looks good, but it's the indicator that you aren't walking in your mission, or you're stepping into your mission, or you need to strengthen your mission, or you need to act more on your mission, because we don't know what people's purposes are really, truly, honestly. We have astrology and we have numerology and we have the tarot and we have all these things to try to figure it out, but ultimately in the end, we don't really know for sure. So walk in your mission and you will feel more strengthened. When we walk away from our mission or we depart a path in order to gain a new path, we start to feel sad and we start to feel like we don't have a lot going on, but it's just an indicator that something new is coming. Growth is coming. It's the indicator that something really beautiful is coming. Everyone's mission is different. Are you insecure because you are not walking your life mission? The life that you are leading is not yours, meaning what image have you created that you're walking? Who are you? Who were you before you were mother, grandma? It can even be daughter. It can be wife. It could be reader. It could be psychic. It could be just your name in general. Who was I before Serena came along? And spirituality and all of those things. Who are you? Are you, this is also going into, are you pretty on the compliment that you look good with XYZ? And I've already talked about that, so I'll move forward. So, what have you discovered on your own without the opinions of others? Do you belong to them now, or do you belong to yourself? So this also goes into the same theme that we're seeing, and every psychic is talking about it, but it is really coming through very, very strongly, and it has to do with losing friendships. So I'm seeing a lot of people who are boo-hooing about losing friendships. This morning I was taken through those feelings, so I do understand the sadness and the longing for that connection again. That's what it is. It's that you're longing for connection. You're not longing for that person who no longer aligns with you. You long for connection, and this person is not displaying a alignment in which you can get on so that you can feel connection. Humans want connection. You can't. And then I'm also hearing a lot of people who are complaining about the people who are displaying and expressing themselves in this way and not looking at it as an invitation to create more connection with people who are aligned with who you are. They're actually asking these people to change their behavior. These behaviors right now during the Great Awakening is a huge indicator that you need to walk away from these people. We are showing our true colors now. The truth is here. We are in the age of Aquarius. The Great Awakening is here. The awakening to truth. These people are showing you truth. It is not your job to change people or fix people. You want connection. So find people that you can connect with. Okay. What is it, the true reason that you aren't moving on? Connection. This is a death to the image of who you thought you were, a piece of your ego. Stop creating new stories from old timelines. think it was Phil Good who said this the other day, and he worded it perfectly, and I've been trying to put a description or a name to this for a while, and he did it so well. And he said that you think that you drop stories when you tell your girlfriend or boyfriend when you break up, I wish you well, you know, goodbye. And then you go to the coffee shop with your friend and you're like, I told him I wish him well, goodbye. And then you tell your next friend, I wish him well, I told him goodbye. So you're creating stories, you're allowing it to prolong, you're keeping it with you. So stop creating new stories from old timelines. You are no longer moving into the forward 5D new world if you are still talking about what you told him or her, or how you feel about him or her, or continuously allowing yourself to reminisce. So this reminiscing is an opportunity to go, okay, it has nothing to do with that person. They're not going to give me what I want. So I need to find true connection and authentic connection with my new tribe. Okay, so with this process of losing friendships, they took me through the process of grief through this morning. And grief is one of the hugest creators of illness. Grief is they create illness, and no one really teaches. They talk about the steps of grief, but they don't really talk about how to move through it. And what Spirit was telling me was, don't be one of those people who sacrifice a piece of yourself in an old timeline to only move forward. So stop leaving chunks of you, chunks of your heart, chunks of your body, chunks of memories in old timelines, and then to only in order to move forward. That does not complete the grieving process. You have to completely pick up every piece of you and move forward, and eventually it will get easier. By you leaving old pieces of you in old timelines and old stories, you are not healing. You are leaving wounds, which inevitably leaves lessons in the future, which continuously come back and trigger that until you heal it. So this is about the law of attraction. If you don't heal those things, if you're continuously living in old timelines, you will not be able to be happy in this new timeline. You will not be able to move forward fully. So when you lose a friend, that's what came up next in when I was doing the cards, was my advice for this old connection that was triggering wounds, was, what do I do? Like, why is this coming up? How do I fix this? How do I move forward? And it really told me, which is so cliche, but it's so true, is sending those people love in the confidence that you will walk in your truth. So by sending them love and sending this allowance, this compassion, which it's not a feeling, compassion is not a feeling, remember, it's a space. If you have deep allowance, not being triggered by anything, just allowing things and accepting things exactly as they are. Compassion is very similar to the word truth. They vibrate on a they are different, but they vibrate in the same realm. So, send those people love in the confidence that you will walk in your truth one day. They are walking in their truth. Now, some people, again, aren't walking in their truth, but you know what? That's their truth and their version of their reality. So it doesn't matter. So you want to walk in your truth. So send them love. When you send love and you devotion or prayer, when you send that out to people in meditation, it only brings you enlightenment. It brings you blessings when you come from a pure place of unconditional love and compassion. If you want to manifest things quicker, pray for other people with pure intentions. And with all of that being said, I want to leave you with the main message that came through. And that is, be careful what image you decide to create, because you might just have to sacrifice truth for it. I'll say it again. Be careful what image you decide to create, because you might just have to sacrifice truth for it. And I'll let you guys marinate in that. But those are the messages from Spirit, and I hope that this resonates with you guys. So, see ya.